with 100 oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong game.
I was like,
yo, that is not this week. Let's go. Yeah, let's just kind of get a recap of like the stats. Do you want me to hit that, Dionte, or do you want to?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No,
apologies.
not at all.
My throat's a little banged up today, so
no, I don't mind doing that at all. Hey, man, hey, when a brother's down, it's next man up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I know Dionte usually brings the hype with these stats and everything. So we're gonna hit the stats first, and then we'll jump into kind of like thoughts of like certain plays and whatnot. So Patrick Mahomes, he went 16 of 27 with 100 and. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong game.
I was like,
yo, that is not this week. Let's go. Week 8. Sorry. I'm gonna look at what Josiah has. Josiah, thank you for doing this for me. Can you zoom in on that just a little bit? Awesome. Thank you. I have terrible eyes. Patrick Mahomes went 27 of 38, 262, 2 tutties, and 1 interception. That 1 interception, again, just like a fluke, batted ball. It's literally half of his interceptions this year, just kind of on crazy.
He was looking
things.
at Kelsey on that play.
Yeah, he was, and I think Kelsey would have had Kelsey over the top because he had a couple steps on the defender, and so if it's in front of him, he's getting a lot of yards there. He did get sacked one time for 10 yards. Hey, this stat is my favorite right now. His QBR 87.9.
Yeah,
it's back, and there's one big reason I feel like he played with a little more confidence in this game, and I'm going to talk about it in a second. So, rushing, Kareem Hunt, willing to take the load, man.
Yeah.
Willing to run the ball. And
3 games in a row over 20, at least 20 carries a game. So.
Well, and give credit to the Raiders' defensive line. They did hold him to 2.8 yards per carry. However, it's a little demoralizing when a guy's still getting 60 yards on you when you're only holding him to 2.8 yards a carry, because when we needed it, he picked up the yards we needed.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, on that in the fourth quarter, the one possession, he had 3 runs in a row that got us,
Yep.
First down, and just kept moving the clock along. So
yep.
Yeah.
Which is that's what we need. And you're going to see Patrick Mahomes' yardage probably stay below 300 for a lot of these games if we're going to give the ball 20 times.
I'm ready for that breakout 300. We need to see a couple of those.
I would love it. And I think with DeAndre Hopkins, who we're going to talk about next. So Kareem Hunt with the 59 yards. He did have the touchdown on just a beast of a run on the goal line. He was at the 1 yard line, and everybody was shoving him in. I love those kind of touchdowns because it's literally your best front, your best like 5 or 6 against our best 5 or 6. And who's stronger? Kareem Hunt's stronger. And so
he's been pretty lights out in the red zone with
his vision.
Just been able to get in the end zone on the run game, which not that I feel like we necessarily struggle with Pacheco, or maybe it was just, I don't know. I guess since Kareem Hunt, some of the play calling in the red zone has been given the ball, which is on some of those should be, especially when you have 3 of the best interior linemen. It gives them confidence and just get them the ball and let them push some people over. That's what you're paying them for.
Right.
So we're seeing them call those plays, and it's happening. So
yeah, and I agree with all that. Like, legitimately the best interior line in the NFL.
Yeah.
Jason Kelsey's not around anymore, so we took that over. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Joe Tooney, those guys can move bodies.
Right.
And we've been seeing that happen. And like Creed Humphrey said in his interview, we want to do that. We want to push bodies around. Yeah. We want to be able to, because that gives Mahomes a little bit of a break, right? He's not having to do as much.
I mean, even in that game, this game, he threw 38 attempts. You know,
right?
What I mean?
Well, and if we don't have those 21 carries from him, he's throwing 48. 50 attempts. Which, I mean, man, that's not good for the longevity of a career throwing it 50 times a game. So being able to run the ball with Pacheco out is fantastic. Can't wait for December roll around when we can see them side by side.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be crazy. Let's get to the receiving. I almost said Jason Kelce. Travis Kelce. He eats against the Raiders. 10 catches, 90 yards, and a tutty. And I tell you what, he was hyped the entire way.
Yeah.
There was that pass he got on the sideline. We said, "You keep talking. You
can hear the audio of
it.
You've been talking all game.
You've been talking all game. You keep talking." And yeah, man. And when he got that touchdown, he spiked that ball so violently.
Oh yeah.
That I'm pretty sure it put a divot in the turf.
Yeah.
But that was his first touchdown of the year, and his first touchdown in I think 13 games.
Yep.
And 13 in 13 regular season games. It's his first touchdown in 13 regular season games. He hasn't had one since November of last season, I believe. So
yeah, it was good to see us. Really get him the ball, and he was finding separation and doing what he does best. So it was good just to see that.
It was
and
great.
Also confidence for him.
And,
and we're finding ways to give him the ball. So
yeah, which is great. Which I honestly think DeAndre Hopkins being there actually did open up a lot of spots for him.
Yeah,
because DeAndre Hopkins is doing that Rashee Rice thing. Where he's running he's not the quick guy who's going to beat you downfield a lot of times, but he's opening up little pockets, you know, and those pockets that Kelce had last year when Rice was here, he has now, and I think it's only going to get better, especially when we get Juju back. So with Kelce having the 10 for 90, Xavier Worthy had 4 for 37 in the touchdown. He did struggle a little bit in this game with catches. I do think he's struggling a little bit with the amount of workload put on him so early in his career, because it took Rashee Rice until around week 8, 9, 10 before he really, really took off last year. So I think the same thing might happen with Worthy. He shows flashes of greatness, so I'm excited about that. Justyn Watson got involved, 3 for 33. Samaje Perine.
In which Justyn Watson caught that pass that was intended for Worthy.
Yep.
And, kind of tipped off his hands, and he was in the right spot. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just those little things. When those start going your way, you have a recipe for success as a team. So, but yeah, Samaje Perine, 2 for 30. One of them being Patrick Mahomes running to the sideline and kind of did that little sidearm like floater over 2 defenders down the sideline for what was that 21 yards. DeAndre Hopkins.
It was 3 defenders over there, and they all 3 converged on Mahomes, and then it was just
it's the risk, like they want to get him out of bounds before he gets. But it seems like running to his right, he does this 2 to 3 times a year, where he just floats it over defenders down the sideline, and I legitimately think that's part of the design play. Like he's like, hey, I'm gonna run to the sideline, just stand 7 to 12 yards down the sideline, because they're gonna come at me. I'm just going to be able to float it up to you. Yeah. He does that every year, at least once a year. So that was great to see. DeAndre Hopkins had 2 for 29, both big pickups, both on third down, if I'm not mistaken. The first one was for 13 yards, and it was I don't know if he had to jump, but he jumped to a spot to where he got the ball in front of his face.
Well, you seem like both of his catches were clean, hands out.
Yep. That one to the sideline was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Like full speed, in stride. So,
and I think it was, when we're talking about Xavier Worthy and one of his, his, you would like to see him maybe have had, or, came down with it, but we know it's not really that's not really his style, but the jump ball catch kind of that he went up with the defender. When you watch the replay of it, DeAndre Hopkins was streaming across the middle.
Yeah,
and he was wide open. But I think after they go and just look at film, I think Mahomes will start eyeing in on that. Of course, it was only a couple days of practice, so I understand that. But he shook the guy like out of his jockstrap.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and was wide open.
Yeah,
so I think they'll see that and. He's going to be getting the ball.
And then there was that.
He looks good.
There was that one corner route he had, too, that Mahomes missed
overthrew
him on.
Him? Yeah.
I mean, he overthrew him.
He was wide open.
But, yeah, he was wide open there, too. And I think that's just a mesh thing, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been around. Mahomes doesn't quite know if Hopkins is going to settle or not. So Mahomes did what he should have done, put it in the only spot that Hopkins could have got it. Like he thought he was probably going to keep running towards that corner, maybe catch it on the sideline, kind of thing.
Or it could have been a defender somewhere in the way in his vision that he thought he saw.
Right, so he had to get it over top. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Hopkins had 5 yards every which way before a defender, so he had good separation there.
He looked good.
So yeah, with the limited reps he got, I'm pretty excited to see what he can do. Noah Gray still caught 3 passes for 23 yards.
I'm sorry, that was Noah Gray, not Justyn Watson, that caught the tip pass. Apologies.
Yeah, no, yep. So
Noah Gray, he's clutch, man.
For the first time this year, I didn't live tweet the game. We play in this adult men's softball league, and we had a game, so I wasn't able to watch all of it. So I was just agreeing with what Dionte said there. But yeah, we got our guys catching the ball, right? If it hit him in the hands, there was a couple with Worthy that he could have caught, which, I mean, Mahomes is going to Worthy. 8 targets, so he's going for him. So,
in which, on the same play that kind of the pass was dropped, is the play that, the same kind of route.
Right.
Maybe not the same play, but same route. Because there was a little rub, I think, with Watson. They kind of got him a little separation with the defender, had to go around. And he caught that pass for the touchdown.
Yeah. So yeah, it's our receivers did work. If you other than Kelsey, if you look at the next 6, it's pretty even, man. Or next 5, the ball was distributed very well, and we have playmakers making plays. So
yeah, I mean, guys stepping up to make those plays. Where last year, we were struggling with drops, and there was a couple here. Kelsey had the one, and obviously Worthy had, a few, but regardless of that, it's not like the blaring issue that is happening, because those guys are stepping up in moments that are some key plays. So that's what you want to see when obviously the core group is pretty is all injured, so it's just good. So
it's good. Yeah. So let's jump to the defense. So we did we did have, how many sacks did we have?
We had 4, wasn't it?
5.
5.
We had 5 sacks.
5 sacks.
And several of those coming in huge moments.
Yep.
Drew Tranquil had a really big sack. Leo Chenal. Who else? George Karlaftis on that goal line stand.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That goal line stand was
was so that was that tipped ball interception. They brought it back to the 7-yard line. They got down to the 1-yard line, and from the 1-yard line they ran 2 plays and then ran it on 4th down from like the 4-yard line, and they got stopped in the backfield.
They threw it on the. That's when he got sacked on the 4th down.
Yeah, so on the 4th down he got sacked.
Yep.
He was scrambling, like he got Karlaftis got, or was it Karlaftis getting upfield?
Oh yeah, he had a spin move.
Yep, and so it forced Gardner Minshew down in the pocket, and then everybody just, our defensive front, we have the best run. I don't care what stats say for anybody else. We have the best run defense in the game. I don't care if somebody says stats, because we were number 4 going into this game. We held them to, 33 yards rushing as a team. So yeah, Vegas had 32, 33 yards rushing.
I thought I saw a stat. Maybe I don't remember.
You're good. Keep looking that up. But our defense played really well. Our front 7, man, are just playing lights out right now. Leo Chenal is really coming into the guy we thought he could be when we drafted him. Really taking the mantle from losing Willie Gay, and being able to fill in that 3rd linebacker spot and making big plays. Man.
He's playing
I do
well.
wish he was a little bit better in the pass defense, like when he's in coverage, but man, he knows how to tackle somebody, and he hits with a vengeance.
Yeah, those guys are stepping up big in key moments, and that's just the leadership of Spags and the other defensive coaches, how they're just working with these guys, and and we're seeing it play out. And I mean, they're playing pretty relentless, like on those couple possessions, even with the short, even with the punt, with the penalty that got them up there. Defense stepped up in major key moments, and yeah, I mean, you just saw like on that goal line stand. I mean, they were blowing up that line. Tranquil,
yeah, they were.
Chanel, like they was blowing up the line to make those plays in which, we stopped them. So, yeah, they're playing great. Even besides some, Dana's out, although he necessarily hasn't been well against the pass rush, but even with some of these guys out, the other guys are stepping up in that core little interior line. Because I think it was Mike Pinnell who got the fumble on Gardner Minshew, and then Tranquil stepped on there.
Yep.
So again, Mike Pinnell, like everybody's just stepping up, making key plays at moments that are very crucial in the game. So
another thing that was cool was Trent McDuffie. He almost had that 6th sack against Gardner Minshew whenever he came up out of nowhere and got him.
Yep.
Like that was like I was like, what is he doing down there trying to get the quarterback? But it almost worked.
There was another play where he made Gardner Minshew made a throw and got hit immediately by Chris Jones. Could have been a sack. Unfortunately, that Jacoby Myers caught that ball. For a first down. But our guys are getting to the quarterbacks. So how many QB? Scroll down. I want to see how many QB. We had 8 QB hits. So we had 5 sacks and 8 QB hits. So that's 3 more potential sacks. We could have got milliseconds.
I mean, Alexander Madison, 14 carries, 15 yards, a 1.1 average.
Yeah.
That is the defense right there, stepping up, a 1.1 average.
Yep.
Like, I mean, he was stuffed. He couldn't do anything. So our run defense has been lights out.
Lights out, man.
Yeah, really well.
Yeah,
which I think you said the other day when we was working. What you say, Lamar Jackson is the only one that has had over like 50 yards for running or something something around there,
and
or under 60, something like that.
The next highest was Derrick Henry, and I think he had 42 or something like that. So he had somewhere in the 40s of yardage. Everyone else has had less than 40 yards.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right.
And we haven't played chumps at running back, man. There's Alvin Kamara, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Alvin Kamara. We had who was it? Oh, J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
These guys aren't slumps, man. They're running over other teams.
Jordan Mason, he has had a decent, he's actually been really good this year.
Him and J.K. Dobbins were 1 and 2 when we played them.
Yeah.
So we faced the top running backs in the league, and none
Henry,
of them.
All 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Kamara, like 4 of the.
And then Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
So in 8 weeks, we faced 5 of the top. So in 7 games, we faced 5 of the top 10 running backs in the league, and none of them have gotten more than 50 yards on the ground.
Yeah.